Every school has an infirmary, a quiet place meant for rest and recovery. But in one particular Japanese school, the infirmary is anything but comforting after dark. Students whisper about a ghostly presence, a lingering spirit that never left. This is the legend of the whispers from the infirmary. Years ago, there was a kind and gentle school nurse named Asuka. She was loved by students and teachers alike, always tending to injuries with a warm smile. But one day, tragedy struck. A terrible accident occurred. A student was found unconscious in the infirmary, and despite Asuka's desperate attempts to save them, the student never woke up. Heartbroken and racked with guilt, Asuka's health declined. One evening, long after the school had emptied, she was found lifeless in the infirmary, slumped over her desk. Some say it was exhaustion. Others whisper that she couldn't bear the guilt any longer. After her death, strange things began happening in the infirmary. Students who stayed there alone reported hearing soft whispers when no one else was around. The curtain partitions would sway as if someone were moving behind them, even when the windows were closed. Some claimed that when they lay on one of the infirmary beds with their eyes closed, they could feel the gentle touch of cold fingers checking their forehead, just as Nurse Asuka used to do. One night, a student named Rika had to stay late in the infirmary due to a high fever. The nurse had stepped out, leaving her alone in the dimly lit room. As Rika lay in bed, half asleep, she suddenly heard a faint whisper near her ear. It was a soft, soothing voice. "Are you feeling better?" Thinking the nurse had returned, Rika opened her eyes, but the room was empty. The curtains around the beds fluttered slightly, and the air felt unnaturally cold. Then, she saw it. Just beyond the curtain, a faint silhouette of a woman in a white uniform, standing motionless. The figure didn't move, didn't breathe. It was just there. Terrified, Rika shut her eyes tightly, heart pounding. The whisper came again, this time right next to her ear. "You should rest." She felt the icy touch of fingers brush against her forehead. That was enough. She leaped from the bed and ran out of the infirmary without looking back. The next morning, when she told her friends what had happened, they paled. She wasn't the first to experience this. Others had heard the whispers, felt the ghostly touch. Some even claimed they had seen the nurse's reflection in the medicine cabinet mirror, watching them. To this day, students avoid staying in the infirmary alone. If you ever find yourself resting there at night and hear a whisper close to your ear, don't answer. If you feel a cold hand on your forehead, don't move. And whatever you do, never look beyond the curtain. Because Nurse Asuka is still there, watching over her students long after her time has passed.